welcome to Aman Jaiswal's YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking to you about how the use of space can help us get a great composition. How do we define space in photography? When we look through the viewfinder of the camera, the complete area that we see in the frame is what we refer to as space. How we use the space, meaning how we place the various elements of the photograph in it, will decide if it is an ordinary one or an extraordinary one. Space in a photograph can be divided into two parts: positive space and negative space. Positive space is any part of the photo that jumps out from its surroundings. That includes your subject along with other noteworthy areas of detail. We usually consider positive space where there is activity going on within its textures, colors. There are parts of the image that do not attract as much attention surrounding the positive space and giving it a buffer. Negative space is backing this positive space. Let us look at some examples of positive space. In the photograph of this temple, the trees and the people are positive space, while the sky is the negative space. This photograph is an example of extreme positive space. I took this picture in Rishikesh to represent the feeling of how crowded and closely spaced all the construction is in the city. Let's now look at some examples with large amount of negative space. In this photo, the large amount of sky that we see around the tree is the negative space. In this photo of the city, the sky and the river is the negative space. Positive and negative space are terms commonly used in art and photography that have to do with composition. Both have a big role to play where a good composition is concerned. Every composition has positive and negative spaces, and the balance between the positive and negative space creates balance in the composition. As I continue with this video, I just wanted to remind you, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see any new videos I add, and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you get more notifications. At first, it may seem like negative space isn't that important because it's just the space surrounding the focus of the photograph. This is a misconception though, because too much or too little negative space can make or break a composition. The right combination of positive and negative space is often used to set the context of the photograph. In this photograph, if we had zoomed in too much of the boat, we would have seen the boat only in water without context to the ghats from where it is traveling. Zooming out too much to get more of the surroundings would have meant that the boat is lost in too much to see. So in both ways, zooming in too much or zooming out too much, we would have lost the context of the photograph and the balance in them. Different light tones created by lighting conditions can help us divide the space in positive and negative space. If you see this photograph, the focus is on the setting sun, which is in our negative space. The trees and the building in the darker areas as positive space help in bringing focus to the setting sun. Here again, the right balance between the positive and negative space will help us get a great photograph. The relationship between positive and negative space can also help us create feelings. For example, if we see this photograph of the castle, it gives us the feeling of size, majestic, old charm, luxury. Mountains for me always remind me of cool places, with fresh air, uncrowded, away from the maddening crowd, with a small road that talks about very little traffic. All this makes the house feel so idyllic and peaceful. In this one, boy seems to be having fun with others and is expecting someone to catch up with some mischief up its sleeves. Too little negative space would have lost the feeling. It's interesting that once in a while, we can also create a sense of illusion using positive and negative space, just as in this famous Rubens picture of the two faces and a glass in the middle. This is a very famous picture of positive and negative space. Depending on the way you look at this picture, you can say that the hourglass in white is the positive picture, the black the negative space, or vice versa. So, as you see, positive and negative spaces are equally important in photography. The balance between them, if handled properly, can help you get great photographs. So go ahead and try out your hand in using positive and negative space by placing elements in the right places and get great photographs. I just wanted to remind you, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see any new videos I add, and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you get more notifications.